Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, I'm gonna talk to you, the reason why we don't use credit card. So top reason, number one will be credit card discourage self-control. When you're going out with, to the shopping center, when you have a credit card, I'm like, "Oh, okay, I can afford it. And you just keep on swiping it. So it minimizes the thinking process, like, can I really afford this? Do I really have the money? Instead of go, hey, where can I borrow the money to buy this certain product or services? I don't like that for that reason. It's likely that you're not good at taking control of your money when it comes to budgeting. So when we go to a shopping center these days, or wherever we go, we tend to look at, do I have the money to buy these based on my debit card? If I don't buy them. And if I don't have the fund, I don't have the fund. And interest can get really expensive. These days, credit card between 15 to 20%. That's how much money that you're paying if you actually have balance owing on the credit card at the end of the month. So for me, that is very expensive. I would rather earn the 20% instead of paying the 20%. So these days, on a typical, market anyway, we work on calculation based on 8 to 10%. There is no product that I know of that can produce in the investment style that is steadily able to produce 20%. So for us, no, that's not a good idea. So the best way, actually, take it off from the line, as in turn it off, as in close the account, as in normal credit card. I don't want to pay 20% more than what I have to. It's bad enough that you're paying retail when you're buying a new product. You got to pay retail plus the interest, an extra 20% on top, let's say. Using credit cards leads more spending. I've noticed this previously in my life when I actually have a credit card. These days, I don't have credit cards at all. So if I don't have them on my debit card, I am not going to purchase them at all. It can wait until I actually have the money in my budget in that particular fund, let's say. Credit card give you the illusion of having more money than you do. I agree on that aspect because you think that you've got all of this. You think that you have, just because you have a limit of $10,000, you have that feeling of like, I have the power to purchase things at that, whatever the maxed amount of that credit card. But I understand that at the end of the month, you really have to pay that off somehow, unless, otherwise you'll be getting charged interest. People tend to spend more when they use credit card and chase points. Funny thing about this was a few months ago when I was having a dinner with a group of friends, and they're talking about credit cards. I go, hey man, what credit cards do you use? I've got this platinum, I got that, I got this, I got that. And like, I use debit card. And I'm just looking at alone just a few, based on a quick research or so. So I'm looking at the fees. In terms of the fees alone, some of them, just in order for you to get access to that fund, it will cost you, about $450 per year. So to gain access of a credit of say $10,000 on a credit card, that will charge you an extra 20% on top, it's going to cost you $450. How about the other way around? Instead of having that credit, why don't you just invest that $450 and making it compound interest over year by year? So you'll be surprised on that, how much that would be. So it can erode your peace of mind. For me, I remember that clearly every time I get the statement from the bank, whenever, back then it was on the mail. It wasn't like these days where everything's on an app where you're logging in. Every time I get that mail, it's highlighted. This is how much you owed in that one piece of paper. So yeah, for me, it's not a good peace of mind when I owe somebody certain money, I say. Bottom line, credit card will work if you're doing it as a balance transfer, which I did personally do when I was trying to minimize the interest repayment, or if not trying to tackle that debt as quickly as possible. So it works in that aspect. But as soon as you get rid of it, Don't ever turn it on again. I was speaking with a couple of mates of mine. It's like, why do you carry that around? Like, oh, in case of emergency. That's what an emergency fund are for. I remember when the day that I actually have to close my credit card, it's like, are you sure you don't want this? It's a free annual credit card, you know, just in case of emergency. No, your emergency is an emergency fund. Your emergency fund is the emergency, sorry, not a credit card. So I don't rely on credit card for those reasons. So bottom line, if you have a credit card, it's like going out with a loaded gun. I explained this a couple of months. So people that pretty much, oh, I want to buy this, bam. I want to buy that, bam. So you just keep on buying. And then when you get the bill, it's like, oh, that's a reality check. That's like when the hangover start coming in. I try not to have that hangover. The less hangover I have, the better it is in the long term. That's just my 2 cents. This is our journey when it comes to FIRE. This is the reason, these are the skill set that I use in order for us to achieve financial freedom, in order to get where I am at the moment. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and I will see you on the next video.